59% of self-identified liberals say there have been times when they considered leaving America for good, like after NBC canceled The West Wing. I don't get it. You want so badly for every immigrant to come to this country and experience the good life, but somehow it's so terrible you want to leave? Have you ever seen the Eurovision Song Contest? They actually listen to that crap.
Recently, we covered BillMaher calling out celebrities who swear they hate America so much they threaten to leave. Well, now he's turning that same fire on woke politicians and liberal elites who claim the country's falling apart. Instead of fixing things at home, they dream about escaping some fantasy perfect nation that only exists in their imagination.
Look, everywhere in the world, I'm sure, seems great when you haven't lived there. I hear people tell me Costa Rica is beautiful. I'm sure it is. You'll also get bitten by a snake on the flight over. The travel site Lonely Planet describes Sri Lanka as endless beaches, timeless ruins, welcoming people. And if you love child marriage, food shortages, and the strictest abortion laws in the world, Sri Lanka could be right for you.
This week's segment turns up the heat even more. Maher isn't pulling any punches as he tears into hypocrisy, drama, and victimhood on full display. Get ready. This one's bold, unfiltered, and guaranteed to ruffle feathers. Let's dive in.
Run for office in America, you have to want to live here. I bring this up because there was a video that made the rounds recently by a woman who said she was a proud progressive and was running for state representative in New Hampshire, and yet posted this.
Is there a place we can move that people would be happy to have us, that we're not gentrifying or colonizing? I don't want to be a problem, but I need to get the out of this country.
Out of this country? The one you want to be elected to a leadership position in? What was your campaign slogan? America, a shining on a hill?
Ever notice how ever since Trump's rise, there's been a nonstop parade of celebrities and politicians declaring their hatred for America? Some are still salty that Kamala Harris flopped with voters, while others just can't handle Trump's comeback. Whatever their reasons, the excuses keep getting more ridiculous. One woman from New Hampshire even claimed she despised America because she thought it was colonizing other countries, a claim that makes zero sense. It's just empty outrage dressed up as activism, yet somehow people still buy into it.
I'm confused by this political message. Vote for me because I hate it here. Now, does America have big problems? Yes, I've often cited the America Sucks list.
Maher then poses a question that hits right at the heart of it all. If these politicians hate the country so much, why are they running for office here? The usual answer is that they want to fix the system. But that logic falls apart fast. You don't have to hate something to want to improve it. What it really looks like is more the same political theater, emotional speeches, attention-grabbing sound bites, and zero real solutions. And honestly, if they think America is that terrible, maybe leading it shouldn't even be on their to-do list.
Does America have big problems? Yes, I've often cited the America Sucks list. Things like being 54th in the world in infant mortality behind Cuba, 19th in literacy behind Russia, 72nd in female representation in government behind Iraq. A lot of work to do here. And is it possible for a country to lose itself so much that leaving it is justified? Yes, but we're not there yet, not by a long shot, and we don't need quitters. We need people who will stay and fix it.
We don't need quitters who bolt the moment things get tough. Celebrities.
America doesn't need quitters. It needs fighters. When celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell threaten to leave because politics got messy, that's not courage, that's running away. What this country truly needs are people who stay and rebuild when times get tough. Real patriots don't abandon ship. They fix the leaks. Hard times aren't a reason to pack up. They're a reason to dig in, push harder, and remind ourselves why this nation is worth standing up for.
Maybe the problem isn't that America isn't worth defending. Maybe the problem is that lots of people today are entitled whiners who have no perspective and no idea how good they have it.
Exactly. Too many people don't realize how good they actually have it in America. They romanticize other countries, cherry-pick what looks attractive, and fantasize about moving there.
Too many people have forgotten just how good they actually have it here. They glamorize other countries, cherry-picking what looks appealing, and convince themselves life must be better elsewhere. What they fail to realize is that many of those dream countries can't even guarantee the basic freedoms Americans take for granted. Somewhere along the line, entitlement replaced gratitude. People act like freedom, prosperity, and safety are automatic, but they're not. Instead of appreciating what makes America unique, they complain, missing the bigger picture entirely.
You want so badly for every immigrant to come to this country and experience the good life, but somehow it's so terrible you want to leave? And I see conservatives in Texas are talking secession again. They have 2 bumper stickers in that state. America, love it or leave it, and we're leaving it.
And here's where it gets ironic. Democrats and liberals constantly cry about how broken and hopeless America is, painting it as beyond repair. Yet, in the same breath, they argue for open borders and urge more people to move here. Think about that for a second. If America is so terrible, why are you inviting others to join it? You can't call a place rotten while simultaneously selling it as paradise. The truth is, the millions risking everything to come here already know the answer. America, for all its flaws, is still worth fighting for.
Arabia, Nigeria, and Sudan still cut the hands off of thieves, so if you're coming from San Francisco, do your shoplifting at home.
Let's be real. Oppression, censorship, and poverty plague much of the world outside the U.S. In plenty of nations, protesting the government can get you jailed or worse. Speaking out online can mean being silenced, banned, or tracked by authorities. That's daily reality for millions. And yet, some on the left still romanticize those same places while calling America the villain. It's delusional. People across the globe still dream of moving here for one reason: freedom. The freedom to speak, to build, to dream. Something far too many Americans now take for granted.
Americans take for granted.
If, for your exile, you do wind up in some comparatively luxurious place like Canada or Japan or the UK, not that they want you. At best, you'll be trading a bunch of stuff you hate about this country for a bunch of stuff you'll soon hate about your new home. It took me only 4 days in Amsterdam to learn that while I admire Amsterdam, I don't want to live there. The buildings are cramped and shaped like needles. The food is awful. The TV's in a different language. It's wet and cold. The people are polite but cold, and they do a bunch of weird shit. The explanation for, according to my friend, was,
take Europe, for instance. It looks appealing from a distance, but dig deeper and you'll see some truly bizarre policies. In the UK, people can sue companies for indirect discrimination, even if those companies aren't hiring. In Scotland, a blocked reform bill nearly allowed 16-year-olds to legally change gender with zero medical evaluation. Sweden followed suit, removing the need for a diagnosis and lowering the age to 16. Germany and Spain are heading the same way. So no, Europe isn't some flawless utopia. It has its own wave of woke policies and cultural chaos. Proof that every nation has its own mess to deal with.
just remember they're hot.
A lot of Americans romanticize Europe because Hollywood and social media make it look like paradise. The cafes in Paris, the charm of Italy, the sleek cities of Germany and Sweden. It's a beautiful fantasy, but that's all it is, a fantasy. What you don't see on Instagram are the steep taxes, suffocating regulations, and the high cost of living, not to mention cultural tension and stricter limits on speech. People move they're chasing a dream, only to realize the perfect life comes with its own headaches the camera never shows.
He always makes the list of great expat destinations because of all those stories on CNN about how you can buy a house in a quaint Italian village for $1, except it's not a house in the way we think of one, as a structure with plumbing and electricity and a roof. When these places were built, the Leaning Tower of Pisa was still straight. Sure, you can spend $100,000 to make them livable, and I'm sure it's no problem to find reliable workmen in rural Italy who you'll then fall in love with like in Under the Tuscan Sun, but
Travel blogs and glossy magazines love selling the illusion that anywhere outside the U.S. is pure heaven. They show breathtaking photos and glowing write-ups, but never mention realities underneath. Limited freedoms, harsh political systems, and strict social rules. Some of those same nations even enforce heavy censorship, rigid bans, or laws restricting women's and LGBTQ rights. Yet liberal influencers and celebrities keep glorifying them while trashing America. The truth? No country is perfect, but America still stands unmatched in freedom and opportunity. Instead of tearing it down or running away when things get tough, it's time we rebuild what's broken and make it stronger.